Hello everybody. So I'm going to do a review today of the Fellow Carter Move wide mouth travel mug. I want to do a review of this because I drink quite a lot of coffee. I say a lot, I have 2 coffees a day, every single day. I love my coffee, gets me through the morning and then kind of helps me get through the rest of the afternoon. And I spent quite a few years just kind of at home drinking out of normal ceramic mugs, and also out and about I had a standard, I think like a Life Venture stainless steel travel mug. In particular, I noticed with the travel mug, as soon as I started to kind of put really good coffee, so kind of nice ground coffee in there, stuff I'd get from coffee shops when I was out and about, so I didn't want to use paper cups, I wanted to do something reusable. The stainless steel kind of lining inside was really impacting the taste of the coffee. So I got, for my birthday in September, my wife kindly got me this, as I said, this Fellow Carter Move wide mouth travel mug. The reasons I asked for it, for the travel side of things, if I undo the top here, nice simple screw. You do have, it is stainless steel, the main body, and it's kind of got a stainless steel rim, but you do have, if you can see inside, a nice ceramic lining, a really smooth ceramic lining. And as a result, the taste of the coffee is not affected at all because that ceramic lining stops it being affected. I've had a few questions. Does the stainless steel rim here affect it? If it does, I don't notice it anymore at all. I really don't notice that it does affect it if it does. But certainly having this lovely ceramic lining, you can see it's nice coffee stains in there because I use it a hell of a lot and probably don't wash it quite as much as I should do. That ceramic lining, it completely takes away that kind of metallic taste from the coffee. So yeah, taste wise, it's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted it for. I'd say as far as heat retention, it's good. It's nowhere near as good as I mentioned, I've got a Life Venture proper like travel mug. It's not as good as that. It will keep your coffee warm for say like an hour, maybe 2, but beyond kind of when you get to 2-hour mark, you do feeling it getting quite a lot cooler. But again, if I know I'm out and about for a long time and making a coffee in the morning and I'm going out, I'll take my Life Venture mug and I will sacrifice the taste. This means if I'm going out to the shops, I'm going into town, going to like a farm park with my kids and I just want to get a coffee and drink it on the go. It's perfect. There's a few things, kind of real pluses to mention around this. The size of it, it's quite stout. It's quite small. Therefore, it's a 12-ounce mug, this. It'll fit in most coffee machines. So if you take it to a coffee shop, you give them this, it'll slot right under where it needs to under the coffee machine. The coffee will come straight out, and it's really good for that. Your traditional tall, thin travel mugs, they don't fit. This one does. At home, I use this as my main mug. I've got so used to it now. I now use it as my main mug. I don't really use ceramic mugs anymore. And I think the reason being, you'll notice it's really wide. If I put my hands around that, my hand doesn't fit all the way around. It's a chunky wide. So when you're drinking out of it, your nose goes straight in there. So as you're drinking, you're getting the smell of the coffee as well, which you don't always get with standard ceramic mugs. So I use it at home every day because I've got used to that's the sensation from my nose from smelling it, and that kind of almost the fit and feel of using it. And I absolutely love it for that reason. So it's not just my travel mug, it's also my everyday mug. It's held up perfectly, so it's a bit stained, but if I wipe that down with a wet cloth, that will all go away. Other than that, I don't think it's even got any nicks on it, to be honest, and I've used this every day since September. A few other things for home, I'm AeroPress, that's why I make my coffee. Just to confirm, has it gone? There you go, there's the AeroPress attachment. If I put that down on there, it fits on perfectly. Absolutely perfectly slots on there, really, really well. However, when you compress down, put the plunger in, sometimes I've noticed that it can come up through the gaps. It can sometimes rise up, and it can even sometimes, because it's so tight, the coffee will come up through the gap here as well, because it's that tight. It will come up through, which is an issue. So just to confirm, take your funnel, works just as well, and that's why AeroPress with this travel mug. So yeah, put the lid back on, seals nice and tight. I've thrown it around a lot, turned it upside down, does a good job. Only thing that did happen to me early on, I can't remember why, one of the rubber seals from here popped off. I use this, I carried it and it all leaked out, but as long as those rubber seals stay on and they're easy to put back on, you're absolutely fine. One thing I would say about this, so I think it's brilliant. I've used it twice a day, every day since September. I really hate drinking coffee out of anything else now. For an out and about mug, it does have some limitations. Number one, it's too thick to sit in any car kind of coffee cup holder I'd ever come across. So if you want it for them, I wouldn't use it if you're going to drink in the car, because you've got to put it down somewhere, especially if the lid is off. There's no way you can slot it in your car unless you've got a really ideal sized kind of compartment in the front of your car, but most cars won't. So I wouldn't recommend it if you want to drink on the go in your car. If you are going to, even if you were to try and use it in your car, keep it in between your legs, or if you want to walk around with it, the one issue you do have is it can slosh out of the top here if it's too full. You can get another version of this mug. There is a mug with a splash guard. It's a taller, thinner version of this. It's not quite as wide and chunky. It's taller and thinner with a splash guard, so you can use that. It's a bit better in your car if you're on the train, or if you want to walk around with it. I'll be honest, walking around, that doesn't really bother me. I don't tend to fill my coffee up too much anyway. I like it stronger and less in there. So it doesn't really fuss me. But if I was having to kind of bump around some hills, or I was, sat on a train, it was bumping, I would be a bit wary of using it for that reason. The only last thing for carrying around, if you've got it in a bag, you carry it around in a bag and you sit and drink out of it and put it back in your bag, fine. If you want to carry it around, remember, if you're not just sitting and holding it, it is chunky. It's comforting, so when you're sat at home, you're holding this nice big chunky like a mug, and I love it for that reason. Walking around, you've got to have quite a good grip on that, and it can quite easily slip out your hands because it's quite chunky. So if you want to fill it up at, I don't know, if you're at a farm park or you're going for a walk and you've got some coffee, you get it filled up, you put the lid on, and you're just going to carry it. It's quite a big thing to walk around and carry. And if you want to put it in your bag, again, it's quite, you notice it's quite chunky. So just consider that. For me, that's not really an issue. It doesn't bother me. You often see people with slimmer travel mugs, slight slid in their pocket. You walk around with it in your pocket so you can quickly get it in and out to have your coffee. You can't do that with this unless you've got really big pockets. It's too thick to do it with. So that's the only thing to consider. But I mean, other than that, it's awesome. Coffee tastes great out of it. It's vacuum insulated. It keeps it nice and warm for say an hour and a half, maximum 2 hours. Stainless steel rim, but then the ceramic line makes a whole world of difference to the taste of the coffee. I think I got it for about 30 quid off Amazon. So if you're looking for something, or you kind of want the splash guard version, it's a bit taller and slimmer with a little splash guard in the top that helps your coffee from swilling out the top. It stops it doing that. Either one, I think if you've got either versions of the fellow Carter Move travel mug, I think you're on to a winner. Thank you.